Tech protectionism works. India is the latest example of that, creating $4.5 billion in value in under 2 years. Let's check out how. Great example of tech protectionism doing its thing. We've talked many times on the show how the Chinese tech environment and community greatly benefited from extreme tech protectionism provided to the country's fledgling tech startup community by the Chinese government. And then that was a smart decision by the Chinese government and helped China's tech community and startup and VC community become what it is today. Some people don't like that narrative, but they're wrong. Fast forward to this story. Short video app, basically a TikTok competitor, raises $805, don't forget the 5, $1 million, that's US dollars. But there's a couple apps in India, like Josh is kind of the TikTok direct competitor. They have another app called Dailyhunt. Anyway, company has raised $1.65 billion in total. The India TikTok ban went into place June 2020, but they were talking about it, right, for a couple months leading up to that. Hey, China and India beefing. May of 2020, the company raised $30 million. Then they raised a little bit more, about $10 million more in November. Okay. So there is like $40 million, definitely aided by India tech protectionism, rumored and then actually happening. They were worth a few $100 million leading up to their 2020 raise, right? So they raised in 2019 about $65 million. They called it a $350 million valuation. They had certainly kind of been in somewhat of a lull. They were raising money in 2016 at a $330 million valuation, right? So not too much change there, 2016 to 2019. Boom. 2020 happens, raised another $40 million. Then they raised $200 million at a $1.1 billion valuation in February of 2021. So within a year, really within like 8 months of the ban going through, their valuation more than doubled, right? More than doubled. Now, the company just raised $1.27 billion. They raised 480 in January of 2020. Then they raised another 800 in April of this year at a $5 billion valuation. You want to talk about tech protectionism? This is the darling child of tech protectionism. You had a Chinese competitor in your country stealing your people's data all day long. Don't even start with me and say that TikTok is secure. It's absolutely not. It is a tool of the CCP, the Communist Chinese Party, making money off of your people, not really giving you any jobs, right? Like it's all really Chinese engineers. That's the whole problem with it. Maybe they would give you some sales and marketing people in India and say, oh, look at all the jobs we're creating. It's what they did here in the US. It's a complete joke. They're just trying to sell ads to then all that money goes where? Back to China, along with your data. So anyway, just in the past few months, since the ban was official, June 2020, this company has raised $1.5 billion and went from call it $500 million valuation to $5 billion in less than 2 years. It doesn't happen unless the Indian government bans TikTok. Doesn't happen. Does not happen. Think about all the jobs that are now being created in India. Think about the security that you have knowing that you have a local Indian tech company and all your data is now on servers located in India with a company that you have a hell of a lot more trust for than this Chinese content platform. Tech protectionism works. If you like that video, we got a bunch of videos talking about TikTok, the national security threat to TikTok. Go check out those videos and follow us on Gab.